Gambian Talents TV, nyunulela dokuo seneyata. Gambia Talents TV, nyunulela dokuo betiyata. Gambia, ngala dokuo betiyata. Gambia Talents TV, nyunulela dokuo seneyata. Gambia Talents TV, nyunulela dokuo betiyata. Yeah. Gambia, ngala dokuo seneyata. Yo Gambian Talents TV njalam alnal badi malam nene jeli suso bintele bale jantonko alkal Gambian Talents TV la moy every day and night TV la mi yalla nako mashallah ila diamol ka bet yalla promotional ka bet yalla wow ala baraka bake ala baraka fosila koteng.
Assalamualaikum askan wi mi de setan Gambian Talents TV man la sen harit Mariam Ceesay man mi len de indi Trrc review bi every Saturday xam ngeen naka la ko de defé rek comme last week nga wax na len ne digé bor la té dama len ne as from last week on légui dama ñu indi ñaari nit ñu tok fi waxtane about Trrc ñu waxtane about things yo xamantene ñoo nekk di trend civil dëkk bi last week gis ngeen ne Ahmadou Kala fi amone young person bi nga xamantene nak mu ngi liggé ak li nga xamantene moy GDC party moy party Mama Kandeh bi tay nak defuma dara way dama dem be UTG because ñu yeb xam nañ ne Trrc bi ñu ngi delu su wat on the 20th la gay di dora sen proceedings ci mané duma def dara because we know ne like comme law students yi tamit sen baat wala sen wax make na sense dina wara make sense wala society bi soxna nañ ko torop because xam nañ dara about Trrc bi so gisee ñom lawyer Ousseynou Dabo gis yeneen lawyer yi nga xamantene mag ñu nekk ci biir dëkk bi gis fi ñom Issa Fall ñom Horaja ak ñeneen yépp si ñi lañ njëkkee dañ jàngaloo afa ñu dem na di daar nekk di liggéey ci Trrc te foog naa ne comme young people yi tamit seen voice maata na torop pour askan bi tamit war a dégga li nga xamante ne loolu lañ am pour joxe si about this ongoing Trrc the Truth Reconciliation and Reparation Commission te na def ma dara waaye dama dem ba si University of the Gambia ma dem indi ki nga xamantene nak moy Abdoulaye Gueye nak mu ngi first year student la at the University of the Gambia mu ngi study law ak suma sister bu ñaaw mashallah suma Ceesay ngari di Zainab Ceesay mi nga xamantene mo tamit third year student la di study law at the University of the Gambia te xamna ne nak wax na ne la starting of the 2020 bi nak comme Trrc bi dafa get big and better te xam nga ne musu ñoo def li man keena ma fi di ñu wala ma indi fi keena nit and then we talk about the Trrc but tay ma fi tok ak ñaari students yo xamantene mashallah smart lañ def ñooñu ne waxtaane about Trrc bi dinañ waxtaan about tamit sexual violence yi nga xamantene xewna fi because ñun ñëpp gis nañ ci Trrc bi ñoom Tuufa ak ñeneen ñoo leen testify before the Trrc the Truth Reconciliation and Reparation Commission ñu wax nit yi nag la lañ went through si former regime bi léegi duma def dara waaye dama starté si kii because of jigéen bi mu ne moo olofam setul waaye dima laaka olof by force léegi dama ko starté si Abdoulaye Gueye Abdoulaye nuyool ak suñu viewers yi
asalaamaaleykum yéen ñu nekk di déglu ak ñu nekk di seetaan dama kontaan ak nu ma fi teewee tey pour waxaa yéen si mbiri Trrc ak Trrc lu moo def si dëkk bi jàmm bu mu nekk di si dëkk bi kontaan naa trop pour ñëw fii tey
mashallah Abdou koku di Abdoulaye Gueye mu nga xamantene kon ma leen ko waxe ci University of the Gambia la nekk way fi nak women power lañ wax de because ñaari jigen ñoo fi tok te ñu ngi dominer ki nga xamantene nak moy Abdoulaye gis nga wax bi num séri légui duma def dara rek dama bay suma sister bi di Zainab Ceesay mom tam nuyu askan bi Zainab will you speak in English or Wolof?
Well, I would say that my Wolof is not really clear, but then assalamu alaikum ñu ñu nekk di déglu ak ñu nekk di seetaan man may Zainab Ceesay, third year law student from the University of the Gambia. Suma dom bay moma invite fi tay pour ñu ñëw waxtaani fi Trrc ak liggéey bu gaay nekk di def fi biir Gambia ak sexual violence ak yu nekk di happen si dëkk bi and all the difficulties that people are going through when it comes to understanding the mandates of the Trrc and also what's going on with the sexual violence here in the Gambia. So I'm really glad to be here. Kontaan naa torop buma call on mu wax ma ne Zainab, I want you to be a part of this segment of the show on this Saturday. So I'm really happy, and I'm glad I'm glad she actually believes in me to come and share the little knowledge that I have out there.
Thank you so much. Dégg ngeen na woon olof am surtout waaye dégg ngeen olof bi nu mu setee waaye du ma def dara léegi dama njëkk a laajte Abdoulaye Gueye rek den nag mu ñëw tam Zeynab ñu doon waxtaanee comme nu ma leen ko promise te programme bi macha allah man maa leen woon ne dina neex te dina xumba te dina dagal Abdoulaye yow dama la laajte yow as a law student ba pare xam nañ ne ñu ngi sitaan da ongoing TRRC mu nekk loo xamante ne TRRC damaa mën a wax ne comme history la si biir Gambia la Zeynab TRRC bi mu ngi ñëw fii di sudi loo xamante ne like comme we were not aware of it ñu mosu ñoo xam ne things yooyu noonu la comme noonu dem fii yow as a law student yow lan nga understand like si mandate of the TRRC.
Okay, basically man lu ma am pour wax TRRC dafa nekk loo xamante ne dafa baax si biir Gambia dafa nekk loo xamante ne constitution bi daf ko provide in section 200 of the constitution dafa wax ne government bi or executive yi am nañ right pour postpone a particular commission nga xamante ne dafay investigate wala dafay gëstu mbiri government bu passé o problème bu happen so loolu government bi bu mu gisee loolu dem gis ne am na yoo xamante ne lu bari loo xamante happen na si Gambia waaye nit yi xamul na xala demee pour nit yi xam na xala demee léegi foofu lan liyee ñu indi TRRC bi National Assembly bi tam li approve ko TRRC bi tam foofu la ñëwee depuis bu mu ñëwee ba léegi TRRC den reveal loo xamante ne lu doy waar reveal loo xamante ne musuñ koo dégg musuñ koo gis loo xamante ne dafa mel ni comme ni Gambien yi ñu ngi dëkka boo xamante ne dëkka bi xamul si dara sax man loolu laa nekk
comme dafa mel ni réeru
Gambien yi xamul dara lu nekk di xamul si TRRC because man at first TRRC bu mu starté I can remember at my amagay benn programme city limit programme boobu ñu bari ñu doon saga TRRC ñu ngi wax TRRC daf fi nekkaan pour indi seytaane yes pour indi seytaane noonu la starté waaye bu mu starté bu mu demee ba si kanam ba jongu la si start di ñëw di wax ñun rëy ak naka leen rëy nit yi di accept ñoo rëy nit yi ñale ñu ngi wax rëyu nit yi loolu bu mu ñëwee loolu ku nekk dafa lii because gars yi xam ne lii lu nekk di happen si dëkk bi gars yi loolu kenn yëgul ko am na ñoo xamante ne dem dee nit yi yëgul xamul na leen dee fan leen suulee gars yi ak loolu was something that is very serious and everybody was like why is this happening lii naka la happening si Gambia kenn yëgul ko kenn yëgul ko loolu dafa doy waar waaw loolu moom dafa doy waar
jërëjëf Abdullah léegi ma ñëw si Zeynab you as a law student when we say the TRRC what do you understand about the TRRC the ongoing TRRC?
Okay, so first of all I'm going to say that for ones that do not know what the TRRC stands for, it stands for the Truth, Reparations and Reconciliations Commission. So just like my colleague has said, he's already given you the backdrop to how the TRRC came to be and what work the TRRC is doing. And I actually agree with what he's saying because a lot of people think that the TRRC is here for a witch hunt.
Sure.
Yeah, so I just want to tell people one thing, that if the TRRC, that there has been a lot of we have commissions in Gambia, but none like this before. And we've seen the amazing work that they're doing here in the Gambia. And we've also had commissions in South Africa and in various other countries, Rwanda and various other countries. But then we all know, since South Africa did not have reparations, they just had the Reconciliations Commission. But then for Gambia, we have a Reparations Commission. But even then, South Africa's TRC was the most successful. It was the most successful in the entire world. And for the Gambia, this has actually made Gambians open up. It's made Gambians open up to a point that I never thought would happen. So the TRRC has given Gambians a safe space to come out and speak out You know how we have this culture of silence here in the Gambia, maslaha and things like that. Yeah, the maslaha syndrome and things like that. So we're kept in silence. We're not given that safe space. We're not given that opportunity to come out and say, this is what happened to me. Exactly. That this is what happened to me. And they need to, for people to actually come out and believe the victims, like we did with Tufa. Yes, exactly. It's like we did with Tufa. We supported her in such a way that she knows that she has people behind her supporting her.
But still some people also are blaming her.
Well, things like that happen, but you know, we'll get into that when we get to the sexual violence part. But then that's just what I want to say, that the TRC is actually doing an amazing job for Gambia. So it has provided this safe space for Gambians to actually come out and speak out on what has happened to them in the former regime. So the TRC is here to seek the truth, to find out, to investigate and find out the atrocities that have been happening in the former regime. They're here to find out about those human rights violations that are actually also international crimes. You know, because Gambia has signed various international treaties which actually protect some of those victims too. So if the Gambia cannot do anything about some of these crimes that is happening, then they can file it on an international level and they can have remedies for it. So since there has been proceedings and it has been televised everywhere, people know what is going on. A lot of people know what is going on, and we need to know that all of these ones that are coming out and speaking, I think most of them would seek legal advice before coming, because you can't give a statement or be a witness or give a testimony without legal advice. So you know, all of these things, people are being educated by with all of these, and I think it's a really good job that the TRC is doing, even if people don't know about it. And like I said, the Gambia is providing reparations to these victims. I mean, these reparations cannot compensate for what they have gone through, but then the TRC is telling them that, you know what, we're providing this to you. We know that, we know that this cannot do anything for you. It cannot it cannot solve what you have gone through emotionally in the past for all these years. You know, but then at least they're actually trying to, you know, be able to console the victims in a way that I don't think they've ever been consoled before. They've not been listened to before, and then the TRC is here lending an ear, and everyone else is listening to them. Everyone else is saying, oh, we did not know this is what was happening in the former regime. And you know, I applaud them for the good work that they're doing.
Thank you so much. That was Mariam Ceesay. And now to Abdoulaye Gueye. Abdoulaye, léegi ma laajte la rek yow TRC bu mu dooree seen liggéey bi léegi yow ban jàngal yow lan nga jàng from the TRC?
Man jàng naa lu bari si TRC basically, because at first lu ma jàng moo nekk freedom of speech first, because Gambians yi toll nañ foo xamante ne kenn ñemewut a wax. Yow soo gisee ñu lay def dara saa ñemewuloo wax, soo waxee gaañu la am na koo xamante ne mu ngi taxaw fii wala def lay rey wala def lay def nii. Violence bu happen yëpp loolu moo ko cause, because gis nga yëf yi Tufa and soldier yi si boppam ñu doon rey yëpp dañaa gis ne ñun laa wax ne ñun il faut que ñu rey suñu réew dañu rey dañu rey you must follow order. So automatically loolu bu mu happen ne léegi loolu dafa Gambians yi dama over content Gambians yi ñu nekkee di support TRC, especially Yankuba Touré bu mu liyee, because bu mu liyee TRC Gambians yëpp dañ génn ñu ne TRC.
Well, after na yéen ñaar, because lost to the naa leen let about Yankuba Touré, because Yankuba Touré bu mu ñëwee si bi dañ ko pour mu testify. Mu ne moom du testify, mu ne moom law bi moo ko jox dooleel boobu noonu comme du mun a testify. Xam nga time boobu dafa am benn law bu fa nekkoon. But thank God na change nañ constitution bi. Nit yaa ngi wax ne am na di all right pour mu def lu léegi yéen as law student.
It's only a draft constitution for now.
Okay, draft constitution waaw paasa wuñ ko. But then still ñu ngi ñaan yàlla pour loolu bu mu fi amaat. How comes yow nga nekk si bi dëgg nga rey nit nga ñëw ñu yóbbu la ba si TRC yow nga ne yow doo testify ak yooyu noonu. It was so emotional.
Okay.
Continue then after maa leen amal big question. correction.
Okay. Ma continue. Wala ma.
Wa continue loron wa about sa janga lo janga for to see TRC bi.
Okay. Basically, lolu ye bu start happen. Man sa at first mo don setan TRC. Why bu ma start di gis di dega action you happen at past. Dema studio mané this is something that is very interesting and it's something that you know that Gambian yeb din wara jappale TRC ñu work together to muna achieve reparation and reconciliation because Gambian dañ wara xam lu nekk di dox ci dëkk bi now lolu bu mu happune ñun man ci moko man mastan mané dama make sure na lolu musa happuna ci Gambia du musa allow sun government ñu nekk di ñu treat ñu leen ne because ñun as citizen of the Gambia ñun am na right pour vote pour elect sun leaders am na right also pour gagner gars power ñun na sun Gambian bi ñu bari loolu leen xamutoon because loolu dëgg loolu leen xamutoon waaye TRC bi bu happen bu establish TRC loolu yëpp def ñu jàngale ñun am nañ right pour suñ amee problème ñu dem file yóbbu ko si court pour ñu mun ñu trial perpetrators loolu yëpp ñu bari xamutoon
and also TRC bi xam nga ñëpp xam nañ ne TRC la dañ fi nekk pour investiguer but ñeenay comme ñoo xamante ne suñu yaay wala ñeneen ñoo xamante ne jàngu dañ def ne TRC bi moom comme jongo la ba fi war a ñëw ku fi ñëw testify dañ am pour dem tëj la ak yooyu noonu ba den yéen comme yéen as law students yéen foog ngeen ne lan ngeen war a mën a def pour sensitiser nit yi wala pour wax nit yi ne like TRC bi nekkul fi pour dem war laa tëj or something because man may am benn exemple bu Yankuba Touré ñëwoon pour appear bi for the TRC I was there so buñ ko xëy ne like pour mu testé mu ne du testify bu ñibbi ñu bëri su ma tasee gars dañ ma ne wax ne Issa Fall dafa war na arrest ki and I'm like Issa Fall council la moom nekkul police te moom amul doole boo xamante ne dina war a mën a dem tëj ki nga xamante ne mooy Yankuba Touré so loolu tamit it's important pour nit yi ñu xam ko.
Okay, TRC nekkul a judiciary body. It's a quasi judiciary body, if I'm not mistaken. Okay.
Commissions are not. The commissions do not have the mandate
yes.
to judge, to try and judge cases. They're just there to investigate. And then at the end of the day, they're going to take their results to the court, and then they follow the proper procedures. Like if you do evidence, you would know about the judge's rules. From that, you guys are going to start from the very beginning, do what you have to do, put together all the offenses that person has actually committed, and you can arrest them and then follow proper procedures towards to go to the court.
Yeah, basically that's the responsible of that's the role of quasi judiciary, but they not investigate. You have li law happen. While law meanu ne law mo nek at final decision. The final decision be court bi mo koy mais after sun pare comme ni after sun pare then sun amé lu ni dañ ko yobbu ci court bi ñoo decide whether lolu dégala wala
guilty. Okay, now to Zainab, since the TRC started their proceedings in January last year, in year 2019, January 7, what have you learned from the TRC?
First of all, I did not know anything about all these things that were going on, right? And that's the first time I actually found out and gone in depth onto what a commission is actually, like what a commission actually is and what they actually do. So it has actually taught me a lot about what the TRC does, and it has actually paved the way for me to because I was really confused about what I was going to do after my bachelor's in law, and then I was confused about my master's. So with the TRC, it's actually helped me create a path for myself. And as we know, the law is really very complicated. You can see that at the TRC with Yankuba Touré's case. It was provided in the Constitution that any member of the AFPRC had some sort of immunity when it came to giving out statements. And then Gambians need to understand that lawyers, you call them learned, right? Because they know the law, they know how to interpret it, they know how to interpret the law, and they know how to judge the cases, they know how to argue and judge the cases. So people need to understand that the law is actually very, very complicated. It's not as easy as ABC, and it's not like black and white. It has some gray areas too. And then I also learned that absolute power corrupts absolutely. I didn't understand the meaning of that phrase until I started watching the TRC. I started looking at the proceedings. I started listening to what the people were going through, and what was happening. And then also the fact that a lot of our laws have defects that we need to look into. And I've read some of the draft constitution, and they're working on some of those things. But we need to actually act quick. We need to act quick. We need to know exactly what we should be doing as soon as possible, because when it comes to the law, this is what is governing the country. This is what is putting all the criminals behind bars. This is what is helping innocent people, So we're trying to keep balance. We're trying to keep peace in the country, and people need to understand the Constitution. People need to understand the law. People need to be educated on what the law is, and need to break it down, because that's what we call people out there that do not study law. We call them the laymen, because they don't understand they don't know what we know. They don't understand what we understand. So when it comes to the proceedings at the TRRC, I came to realize that we are different, like the law students. I wouldn't say I'm not gonna say like different in a bad way, right? Than other people, but then different in the sense that we actually understand some of these things that are going on. We understand some of these laws that are being violated, and also what the TRC's mandate is, and not like other people out there that have been, especially with the Yankuba's case, that are saying, oh no, this, he should be testifying, or he should be locked up, or this person should be locked up, or this person should be doing this. But that's not the case, because he had the right to not testify. He had the right to not testify, and people need to understand that if you have the right to not testify, you can choose not to testify, and
it's not a force.
Yeah, it's not a force. That you can't force someone to do something. That's against the law. That's like in evidence. You can't have you can't have someone confess in you can't have someone confess under threat or violence, or things like that. So it's really very important. So I learned a lot from that, especially when it came to my law field, because when we're in school, we're only doing it theoretically, and then as I was seeing the TRC proceedings and things like that, I saw and actually understood how the law worked. I went back, did my research, actually gave me that zeal to go out there, research, and know that this is what is supposed to happen, and this is not what is supposed to happen. And then teach the people around me that, you guys are saying this, but you don't understand the law. This is what the law says, and this is how it's supposed to be. You can say it's not fair, but it's the law, and we need to abide by the law.
Thank you so much, Zainab. Legi yo malektere comme malektere le ma ñoo ci yefi Edward Singate. Like Edward bala mu du ñoo ci TRC bi ñun ñep dañ dan dégg ne Edward like mom dafa dangerous. He's that dangerous guy. Edward dafa mom mo gëna violence. Ci ñoo xamantene ñoo nekk ci AFPRC bi di Armed Forces Provisional Reign Council sen ci junta ci. And ku ñëw def day wax ne Edward was the one that killed help me out. Suñu finance minister bi mooy Trrc léegi nag comme ñu ñëpp ñu ngi am that belief ne Edward will come and testify before the TRC mu wax ñu moom moo rey Trrc and the like. Whilst moom ñëw na moom mu testify joxe ne moom he didn't kill him, moom reyut ko. So like ñu ñëpp ñu ngi expect ne moom moo ko war a def, because mon testimony bi I think 3 days la ñu jël ci TRC bi nit yaa ngi investigate about loolu. Though dafa am ñu ñëw appear before the TRC di wax ne Edward was the one who killed kii mooy Ousmane Trrc, but then amuñ benn evidence, xam nga amul benn indiwuñ benn evidence bu mun a proof ne kii moo ko rey. Xanaa Raki Trrc bu mu ñëwee dafa indi benn dafa waxoon ne like Koro dafa bindoon benn lettre di wax ne gars yi dafa amoon problème ak Edward and the like. So bu mu ñëwee loolu waaye still Gambians are mad at him moom Edward ñu ne moom moo ko rey ak yooyu noonu. So ni amuñ evidence, foog nga ne war nañoo jël like ñu am that belief ne Edward was the one who killed suñ former minister of finance bi di Ousmane Trrc.
Man foog naa ne ku nekk am na sa own opinion ak sa own gis-gis and sa own interpretation no dege Edward Singate. At first Edward Bumye, knowing that Edward's lawyer is a lawyer, to be honest, man started I don't expect Edward pour mu respond direct questions as a lawyer, because lawyer most of the time lawyer the first thing that you have to do, you have to know, you should know how to defend yourself.
Sure.
As a lawyer, automatically you should know. Even though Edward should defend, but Edward Lulu, it's very bad to his reputation. To do someone as a lawyer, pour mu talk it's
gonna be scary.
To be honest, suko defend suko liaison mom du ko mom dafay xool nu mu ko waxee waaye moom dëgg du nangu moo ko def waaye testimony nit yi yëpp in lii dañ ne collaborative evidence am nañ ko corroboratory evidence am nañ ko because a lot of people testifying against him ñu ne moo ko waaye moom ba léegi dafa wax ne moom réet ko waaye gars yi ñoo ko rey bi dafa agree collectively waaye moom individually moom réet ko te man moom mun naa wax collectively ñoo ko rey waaye individually moom kenn réet ko te man agree naa si moom in a sense that individually moom kenn réet ko waaye collectively gars yi yëpp ñoo plan pour rey ko waaye moom dafa nanguwul pour reveal moom kenn moo ko rey loolu la nanguwul waaye
nanguwul both side because dafa ne like mu ne moom dafa wax when last la géej a gis Koro Ceesay wax na ko si Trrc I just can't remember the date but wax na ko foofu noonu and like xam nga dañ ne bés bu yaay jama doon dem tukki bés boobu noonu dafa gunge yaay ba si airport bi den si leen ñib si that very night mu ne moom that very night moom demut kër Yankuba Touré and ñu ne that very night lañ diini woon bés boobu noonu la ñu rey Koro Ceesay and then you know lawyers tamit like dafa am naka la ngay relaté questions and la ma gis ne moom bu mu ñëwee mu ngi wax loolu xam nga moom man maa ngi toog si kanam ba ma doon xool ma ne don't compete Issa Faal man loolu laa foog because Issa su waxee dafa toog fu mu toog I don't know Nigeria la nekk Abuja dafa toog mu study kii comme nu mu dee laajte question everything mu ñëw nag so mu ne kii nii ne bu ko Issa Faal laajte loolu moom mu ne Issa Faal ne moom xamut kan moo rey kooku noonu understand nga so noonu la comme gars ñu ngi push and pull léegi Issa Faal dafa am benn question bu mu ko laajte about light bi because dafa am benn jongu la bu ñëwoon something Lamin Fati mu ne moom dafa ñëwoon waaye bu mu ñëwee dafa gis uniforme yi Edward bi it's wet dafa tooy xam nga camouflage nu mel like si guddi su wetee to be honest pour nga xam ne lii dafa wet dafa difficult so bu mu waxee loolu noonu léegi Edward mu ne ko ne Lamin Fati moo la wax ne suma uniforme bi dafa tooy mu ne ko ne waaw mu ne ko ne naka la kooku di xamee ne suma uniforme bi dafa tooy at that very time te foofu mu ngi lëndëm xam nga ne yéen a ngi understand suma point bi bu mu ko waxee loolu am like Hana Edward kon mu fa woon how naka la xamee ne foofu dafa lëndëm moon after Issa Faal mu ne ko ne xam nga ne obviously këri minister moom foog mu taal at that time so but like sometimes dama di study ma law anyway xaw ma dara about law but foofu daf ma xala confused ma ne mun naa am kii he knows something about this moo tax mu waxee noonu but Edward léegi Issa Faal mu ne ko ne xam nga ne obviously bu su dee këri Yankuba Touré la dina war a taal at that moment xam nga man su doon xam nga ne man su doon maa toogoon si toogu Issa Faal bi perhaps dina don't play suma card see I know how to play my card dina don't have perhaps ndax moom boog na wala boogut fa but sometimes it's just crazy yoo dee gisi TRRC bi and now to Zainab how do you see the testimony of Edward Singate at the TRRC?
Well, I just want to say one thing about Edward, and that is that he is an extremely brilliant person. He is extremely brilliant. He's intelligent. He studied what he studied. He understands what he studies. He gets every single thing. That guy came prepared before he came to the Gambia. He is a genius, I would say. He's an elderly man, right? He's someone that has passion for what he's doing, and he has been doing that for like a really long time. I'm just 20 years old. Maybe he's practiced way more than that, and that says a lot. You know, when you're a lawyer and you're very passionate about what you do, you tend to you tend to be really good at it because you tend to be up to par, up to date with literally every single thing that is happening around the world. So for Edward, he came in well prepared, I must say, and I don't want to say this on like national TV where everyone's
Don't worry.
but he's very cunning too. He knows how to play his cards.
Sure.
So with Edward, the thing about the TRRC is that we're trying to find the truth. We're investigating. We're trying to find the truth. We're telling these people that, you know what, we're providing a safe space for you, and we need you to come on board and then tell us what you have done, so that the victims can have a sort of closure, you know, and that's really important for a human being's mental health, for them to actually be able to move forward, because if not, then it's going to affect literally every single thing that they're going to be doing in their lives and every single person around them. And that's actually, that's really bad, because as you're affecting the people around you, it's going to spread. It's going to grow. That mental health that you have not taken care of is going to be transferred to someone else, and then the cycle is just going to continue like that if they don't find the help. So for Edward, I think he got scared of the fact that he would have been convicted. He was, you know, running around in circles, and it's like they were going on a competition or a marathon or something. Like each person, Issa is trying to prove that, okay, you know what, I'm also as learned as you are. So you know what, you throw the ball, I'm going to throw the ball. You throw the ball and I'm going to throw it back at you. You know, it's like a tennis ball. They were going back and forth, back and forth. Like, we know you are learned, okay? We know you have, you know, you understand the law. We all know that. But what we were looking for Edward, he did not give the people what they wanted.
Sure.
He did not give the people what they wanted 100%.
Because some commissioners even asked that question.
Yeah, he did not give the people what they wanted. And then for Issa, I think for Issa, when he knew that this is how this person is, he should have been 3 steps ahead of this guy. You know, he should have been 3 steps ahead of this guy.
And I'm sorry to use this word, but then at some point, it was like Issa was unprofessional even, because he was kind of mad. He was kind of mad at him.
You know, things like that should not get to you, because when you're a lawyer and your emotions get to you, you do things that you're not. You do things that you're not supposed to do. You need to be able to control yourself. And then for Edward, Edward did something, which is to actually nudge Issa. He nudged him in a way, like nudging. He nudged him in a way that would provoke him somehow. And you know, not a lot of people know how to deal with with provocation. And that's actually like, it was like watching a kid's game. And I commend Edward for his cunningness, his intelligence and everything. But then with his statements, every single thing that he said there, I was just disappointed, because everyone thought that him being like one of the closest to the former president would actually come here and tell the people that this is what was happening, this is what happened. And I am just like all the others did before him. They apologized.
Sure.
Just look at the case of you know, there's things like that. Like, people, even if they don't want to press charges, even if they want to press charges, you need to own up to what you have done.
But Zainab, do you really think the Gambians will know who killed Trrc Ceesay? Actually, do you think we'll know the whole truth?
One thing is that since the TRRC is investigating, we know they're investigating. We know they're doing everything that they can, and then they've even practiced locus inco, which means like taking the court all the way to somewhere that cannot be brought to the court, like an immovable property, like a land, or maybe they've gone all the way to provinces, and then locus inco can also be like a car or something like that, something that cannot be brought into the court, but then the court would take proceedings to the actual place. So for the TRRC, we all know it's not a court. But then back to what you have said, if we play our cards right, if we do what we have to do, if we think that if we think that talking to Edward is the only way to get to know what happened to this man, then I think we need to, for lawyers, for human beings, we can't say there's not a solution. There is always a solution for something. You know, if you've tried this and it does not work, if you think that's the only place you can get your information from, your evidence from, that he was killed and the person that killed him, if you think that's the only place you can get your evidence from, then you need to see how to, you need to be able to plan your strategy. You need to have a strategy. Like, okay, I did this and it did not work. You step back and then you try another way. And then you do what you have to do. If you don't get it that way, you step back again. And
so
then
it's good to have plan A, plan B, plan C.
Yes, thank you very much. You know, there's a way to actually, and if you, because that's only if they think that's the only way they can get the evidence. That
information
about Koro. That if that's the only way, then that's how they should go about it. They need to be smart about it. They need to come up with strategies that would help them. Different kind of strategies, because as a human being, even in our daily lives, like I'll have to go all the way to Turntable to get, maybe, let's say I need to get some stuff from Turntable, and then after that I need to go all the way to Tipa Garage, and then after that I need to go to the mall, and then after that I need to go back to traffic light. You know, there's a strategy. Like, you're like, okay, fine, I'm gonna go here first, then here, then here, then there. You know, even in our daily life there's a strategy. So in this situation, they should also have a strategy in place. Not a strategy, but they should have strategies in place to actually help them to be able to find out exactly what it is that happened to Koro Ceesay. That is, if they cannot find any remains of him at all, because, you know, with technology and science, you can find out what happened to someone. But, you know, and then at the end of the day, if that's not the only way they think, then they need to step back, look back at what we're missing, you know, think about what you're missing, and then be able to speak to other people. I mean, the people that you have spoken to that actually have a relationship to that incident, you know, you've already gotten down everything that they have to say. So you go back, you talk to them again, see what you're missing, and then, you know, be smart about it, and then think about all the little things. Don't overlook the small things. You always need to look at the tiniest details, because that's where most of the answers lie.
Yeah, thank you. And Abdullah, legi dama la laajte yow comme depuis TRC bu mu dooree comme ni ma la ko waxee suma njëlbeen suma introduction bi, like ñun ñëpp xamutoon ne like certain things yoo xamante ne ñu ngi ko wax ci TRC bi was happening here. For example, gis nañ jongula si di ñoo ne ñu ñoo rey kii ñu ñoo rey kii. Man time boobu I can remember time bu fekkee maa ngi dem school, I was young, cause man 2017 laa si suma grade 12. Léegi time bu su may dem school su ma gisee point newspaper every time ma dee gis who killed Joda Haida, who killed Joda Haida. So dama ne lii is for what? Comme man xamoo woon sa Joda Haida la mu ni comme problème bañ ko rey, understand nga. So yàlla def nag ma pare school ma def journalism, léegi TRC maa ngi fa everyday. Keroog nag bu Malick Diatta ñëwee pam wax I am the one who killed Joda Haida. Ma ne kon lii moo tax all that while comme point newspaper ñu doon laaj that question que moo killed Joda Haida, xam nga moo tax ma ne lii comme history la si Gambian si ñun ñoo xamante ne ñun xamuñu la moo fi nekk de. So you, how do you feel like comme seeing the junglers appear before the TRC like di wax ne man maa rey kii, man maa rey kii, man maa rey kii, how do you feel? Duma mën a wax ne yow as a lost but yow as a Gambian, yow how do you feel seeing that?
First of all, Joda Haida, I was really saying dama nekkoon si situation boo xamante ne because by then ma demee li Gambia Press Union dama attend benn li conference li Gambia Press Union.
Okay, GPU.
So fekk ñu ngi wax about Joda Haida, by then xaw ma ku nekk Joda Haida, waaye bu ma demee ma read history Joda Haida ma xam exactly ku nekk Joda Haida, ma xam ne because of lu mu nekkoon di reveal si government.
Sure.
That's
Good
the
morning,
reason.
President, and you.
Yeah, loolu moo taxoon pour ñu rey ko. nga xam ne to be honest, Joda Haida dañ ko rey rek ngir ñu sot lii ñu noppil journaliste
moo tax it comme media bi still comme loolu mu ngi am.
ñu nekk di wax affaire yi Joda Haida rek, most of those people nga gis ne dañ leen threaten too because nangul leen wax exactly Joda Haida fu mu nekk ak ku rey Joda Haida. Loolu bu mu happenee for now Gambia was everybody, especially journalists yi fekka damay wax fekka they were mourning because loolu dafa dawloo yaram nit yi yëpp. Joda Haida ko xamante ne dañ ko rey kenn xamul ku ko rey, kenn toogee fale rek mu ne man maa rey Dada Haidara loolu dafa mel ni comme ni président bi leen rey si that vérité because dafa daw yaram bu baax a baax nga xamante ne nit mënul koo explain.
So yow how do you feel nga gis Jongula si bu ñëwee di wax xam naa boobu sax one can understand because Dada Haidara ñu tam dañ naan dégg loolu noonu rumo bi comme Dada Haidara dañ ko rey ñu ngi ko rey boori Westville ak yooyu noonu but then comme ñu ñëw ñu ne leen diw nii lañ ko reyee like Yaya Jammeh o Tumbul Tamba o Sol Badji moo wax ñu dem rey ko dañ jël mbuus rek takka baatam bi ñu def ko ñu rey ko comme emotional boobu comme how naka nga day feel sa yaram bi yow nga gis loolu nga foog yow ko xamante ne ñun suñu former président bi dañ def ne moom comme dafa baax nii ak ne le I am not here to say nekkuma di wax ne nit ku bon la or something but then ñun ñëpp ñu ngi ko téew nit ku baax nit ko xamante dafa pious torop xam nga ñu ñëw nag gis at the end of the day like comme TRC bi dañu nekk di river ak yooyu noonu so it's very sad.
It is extremely very sad. Dada Haidara case am bi dafa daw yow yaram bi. Gambien yëpp waxuma Gambien yëpp ñu nekk fii ak ñu tukki yëpp dafa dawloo gars seen yaram because Dada Haidara nekkoon na nit koo xamante ne daf doon dimbali journaliste daf doon motivate journaliste yi kooku ñu toog benn fan rek ñu rey ko te reyewuñ ko lu su nekkoon dañ ko rey boo xamante ne dafa rey civilised waaye am na rëy yoo xamante ne
it's true waaw
waaye am na loo xamante ne
ñu rëy la in a nice way
loolu soo fa bayta nekk yow da ngay réaliser sa bopp rek because of méttiwaay bi nit rey ko rek loolu métti na sa xantuma nga toroxal boo xamante ne
moo tax dama di toog di xalaat because si islam yi dañ lay wax ne soo reyee benn ni it seems like rey nga di whole world te like maa ngi gis kii nii for example something Jallow Oya mu ñëwoon testify before the TRC moom mu ne rey na 40 something nit and I'm like dama téye sama boppa bi ma ne léegi soo maa ngi imagine but lu yàlla xam rek dana léegi now to Zainab how do you feel seeing the Jongulas testifying before the TRC explaining how they kill Mr. so and so and so how do you feel seeing that?
Well, partly I feel very sad for the victims. I feel appalled, but then at the same time also very sad for the people that they have killed, and also for them, because you can't just take a human being's life like that. You definitely have to take something that would numb you, because with that so like with the knowledge of like you living with the knowledge of killing a whole human being, not even maybe putting a pillow on their face, but actually killing them in a very, very violent way, that actually takes a toll on you as a human being. But then it actually brings a question in my mind, because they did not hesitate to say, I killed this person. It also brings that question in my mind that, you know, why did they do it? What was the reason behind their actions? You know, we've all seen we've all heard about how the former president was acting. Like, what if they were being threatened? What if their families were being threatened? You know, families meaning your mother, your sister, maybe, you know, any family member, your kids, anyone else out there. And we know you don't have anyone to actually help you with what you're going through, or maybe that's the only way you can have, maybe you and your family can survive, you know, and you had no other choice. But then in life, we always have a choice. We always have a choice. But then, you know, maybe they might not have thought of it that way. And it actually breaks my heart that they were put, I don't know, I just feel like they were put in a position where they could not say no to what they were being ordered to do. Or maybe they had some intoxicants, or maybe they had something in them that would, you know, make them numb to what they were doing.
But do you think that our former president was capable of doing such?
Well, with the way he presented himself, just like you said, he presented himself as a very pious person, and it's really difficult to see him in that light. But then, you know what people say, if more than one person has come out and said that this is the kind of person that you are, that's the person that you are.
Like the Wolof always say, like, so that's it.
Exactly. My sister always tells me, I'm like, Hawa, this is what this and this and this person has told me. She was like, how many people has told you that? Is it like up to 3 or maybe more than that? I'm like, it's a bit more than that. And then she was like, then it's true. You know, so that's where I learned that from. I'm like, then if that's the case, then we need to believe these people. We need to believe that this is what has happened. And, you know, but I just do not appreciate, I don't appreciate anyone lying for the sake of having publicity like that. You know, because, no, listen, because the TRC is doing something like this, right? And then every single person is coming out saying, this is what he did, this is what he did, this is what he did, this is what he did. We don't have proof that this is like everything that he has done. You know, as lawyers, we work on proof.
I know. So
we need to have hardcore proof for it to actually be admissible in court. And you know, not everything that is relevant. No, not everything that is admissible is relevant, or not everything is relevant is admissible. I forgot how it goes. I forgot how it goes. But then I feel it's really heartbreaking that, because it's really heartbreaking, just like I have said, because they came out they came out on their own. I don't think anyone forced them to say anything. They came out on their own, answered questions that is being asked to them honestly, in their own opinions. That they're answering those things honestly, and I really commend them for doing something like that. And you know, as human beings, we need to own up to what we do in our lives, and I feel as if they're even though they've done all of these atrocities, Gambians need to push back and actually think about like what these people are saying, what these people are actually doing for them. Because if it were some other people, they would not come out and say I have done this if they didn't feel guilty.
Sure. Legi Abdullah yore mala tere comme legi dama ñëw ci Sana Sabally. Sana Sabally bala mu don appear before the TRC ñu yeb dégg nañ ne Sana mo nekkon di vice chairperson of the AFPRC, the Armed Forces Provisional Ruling Council. So mom bala mu do ñëw like ñu ngi dégg a lot Sana mo def li Sana mo def la le. Man I for one I was mad at him. Ma ngi mere won Sana ak yoy non. At the end of the day, I have to every time every show dama dey wax li, because I think that it is important pour mako mo té ma dey nekk di wax li yeb. So Sana Sabally bu ñëwé appear before the TRC mu wax lan lañ ko def, because Sana 6 months la nekkon ci junta bi, and after lolu ñu tëj ko for 9 good years. So mu went through a lot, like def nañ ko lu nekka, dañ ko siminiqué ñu def ko lu metti xam nga. So bu ñëwé nak mu ñëwé testify like Gambians yeb di oyé Sana hero, diko oyé hero, diko brag lo ak yoy nonu. So situation bobu nonu man xamali xew, but man like situation bo def man xari. At the end of the day, like comme Sana went through a hell, but then Sana also def na dara ci bir dekk. Reyna kenen, so fuk nga ñoo xamantene ñooñu seen mbokk ñoo xamantene ñooñu leen reyon. Ñooñu will happy like seeing Gambians celebrating Sana as a hero because of lan dafa ñëw sa TRC bi di wax dëgg. So da nga gisee situation boobu ba pare amut foofu noonu rek. After loolu moom def na dara, Edward ñëw testify. After loolu ñoom ñaar ñu ñëw reconcile. Do you really think the Gambians ñu dañ soxla this reconciliation between Sana Sabally ak Edward Singate? Victims yi lañ bëgg ñu ñëw reconcile ak victims yi ñu jégalu, but then nekkut ñoom ñu ñëw appear before the di wax ne they reconcile léegi they forget everything ni ak ni. Ma situation boobu noonu, because I'm not a law student, waaye dama dee wax ne TRC bi su don't allow that pour loolu di am si biir TRC bi. Yow lan nga mën a wax si loolu noonu?
Okay, basically about Sana Sabally, first time before we knew Gambia, to be honest, Gambia definitely lam about Sana Sabally, Sana Sabally lila def, Sana Sabally lila def, Reina Nipis and that. Monekon Sigana Kubi Lolip Habuna. Why gis nañ ne Sana bu ñëwé start mom pour di wax luñ ko def. Gambia ni yépp dañ faté lu happen non. Why dañ ko nekk di filal. In a sense that mom dafa
hero la. What hero?
Mom dafa jaar foo xamante ne fu daw yaram la luñ ko def dafa ko daw yaram. Gambia
diga ko mu ne moom dafa yërëm Sana Sabally.
non dama nekk di analyse right now.
Okay.
Gambia den faate lu happen. Waaye man loolu yëpp mu happen ne bi mu wax Sana because of wax na dëgg bi loolu man naa ko fa gërëm because of wax na dafa toog mu wax Gambia ni dëgg bi.
How sure are you ne Sana like everything la wax?
Okay, to be honest, I'm not 100% so.
Okay, that's the case.
To be honest, because wax moom man mun naa toog ma wax lu ma ne waaye there are elements of truth.
doguma la after just lii after ma continue after da nga continue foofu nag gis naa oya bu mu ñëwee si TRC bi si jongula si ni si dañ dew ne si jongulas foog naa 5 jongulas joo ñëw between those 5 jongulas oya moo wax dëgg but do you know ne dafa am ñu nekk di wax ne oya waxut everything doo mën a wax everything because lu ñu def is serious lu ñu mën a wax everything même su dee sana wax na man maa def lii at the end of the sometimes I'm going to say I can't remember but the major responsibility because I was part of the ringleaders just go ahead
okay
comme dama bëgg rek pour nga xam ne like sana wax na but still mënuñoo wax ne sana wax na everything foofu moom man I want people to understand that part
no man naa agree ak yow sana mënut a wax everything lu happen because gis nga 6 months before sana ñu ko tëj Gambia dafa dem into health laa leen ka because Gambia dafa nekk dëkk boo xamante ne ku wax affaire yi nguur bi rek dañ lay téye loolu dafa nekkoon ak ñoom Bassirou Barrow yëpp soo gisee ñu liggéey yëpp ak lii April 11 lu happen loolu yëpp ñooñu Ablaye Ba ñun rëy noonu yëpp da nga gis ne reneen gaay fekka mun naa amul seen saa lu tax ñu rey gaay loolu yëpp Gambien yi dañ ko fàtte immediately kii bu mu testify waaye man Gambien yi dama foogoon ne ndem kii wax na ñëw na testify na lu mu wax moom kenn lu mu def after bu mu toroxalee nit yi ba pare moom dañ ko toroxal waaye dañ fàtte how many nit la toroxal si biir Gambie loolu yëpp dañ ko fàtte ñu nekk di concentré si moom individual yi loolu dañ ko fàtte waaye mbiri reconciliation bu mu wax Sana Sabally and Edward man si man loolu pour Edward and Sana ñu nekk together as friends but loolu pour Gambien yi man si man
think ne loolu it is important to us pour Gambien si ñu gis loolu noonu
loolu la nekk di yow ma ne first thing before that lu mu waroon a def at least ñu lii Gambie ñu déglu si Gambie wala ñu dem si victimes si boppam ñu dem si victimes yi ñu play ñu victimes yi lu mu wax si yëfi Sana Sabally and Edward weda dañooy baalal gars yi wala lii am na ñoo xamante ne dañ call request am na because am na koo xamante ne
mooy jabari Abdoulaye Ba Abdoulaye Ba jabaram moo call mu ne baala na ko ay no xam nga jigéen ne ñun dañ sof xaar am na ko def ko yéreem
am na koo xamante waaye man si man wartu na demee noonu
and Issa Faisal being the lead counsel moom moo jël fuunam bi ni mu read out message bi soo mënoo dema di lette ma ne ñii seen liggéey xanaa ñii dañ professional or something moom moo jël fuunam bi mu read out message bi xam nga naka wejoon da yaa nga seetaan lu moom moo read dafa am message from the wife of late xaw ma Abdoulaye Ba kooku mu wax ne moom baala na Sana nii ak nii so I'm like what
ok man day am na problème bu ma am TRC bu mu demee man gis nga foo dem si Gambia da lii mu fa nepotism and favorism foo dem si Gambia mun fa TRC bu mu starté at first man dama observe loolu si TRC Sana bu mu paree Edward bu mu starté di testify loolu tam dama ko gis si diggante lii si testimony ñaari because at first man weddiwuma Edward is a lawyer and never try to manipulate. Why Edward also was not given the chance.
Exactly.
Was not given the chance. Why Leonard Amufa, Edward tam as a lawyer, case ko joxe chance bi mun na convince nit because lawyers are dangerous. You give them 1 minute they
you people are dangerous. And I'm thinking I am not dangerous. Okay.
You know, you give them 1 minute, they can turn everything. Okay. So automatically,
but they smart.
They are very smart, especially Edward. Edward is
very man I can remember that dafa am tamit ku ñëwoon ci TRC bi I think jabari something fall la. Something fall. Mooy ko tam dañ ko rayon ci April 10 and 11 bi. So bu mu ñëwee nag moom mu ne moom bu ñu reyee seen jëkkër yi ba pare gars yi dañ ténja. You know what is ténja? Leen ténja léegi bu ñu ténja ñu ne Sana Sabally moo doon dem di round comme fekk mu ngi def la wax ne lu tax nga def lii because xanaa kan moo la sa jëkkër dafa leen nii di nga ko laajte mu weddi yu bëri soo ko laajte mu ne moom he was not aware of that but I can remember tam yeesi bi mel ne bu mu ñëwee appear before the TRC ñu ne ko ne how will you describe Sana mu ne pious naka honesty moo tax after loolu so Gambian si di wax ne waaw kooku lu mu wax dëgg la te loo wax man lii de mu ko defee every time de man I am not here to support Sana or to support Edward or something man dama fi nekk rek pour wax loo man man suma gis-gis la nek or suma halat or suma opinion as a citizen, not as a journalist even. But then like comme man luma gis, it seems like Sana chance buñ ko jox mu wax Edward was not given that chance.
Yeah,
man si man lola de gis. And now to Zainab, how do you see the case of Sana Sabally?
With the reconciliation?
Yeah, between him and Edward Singate.
I mean, that does not do anything for Gambians, to be honest.
Yeah, so.
It does not. It does not give us any form of happiness, any form of sadness. I think some people might even be scared because they used to be, partners at one point.
Sure.
They used to be really close
When
at
you
one
told me
point
about
in
that.
life. You know, they used to be really close. So some people might be scared that, you know what, these people are actually going to be joining forces and they're going to come back. You know, but then for Sana Sabally being hailed as a hero, that's not a right thing to do because also, unlike Edward, he actually came on, even if he did not speak the whole truth, he actually voluntarily came and spoke something and brought out some of and you know, he accepted and agreed to some of the things that the victims have actually said about him. So I would not deny the fact that he's gone through a lot, emotional trauma, physical violence, and all of those things, right? But then the fact that you have done something, you have killed so many people, like what has that done to their lives? You know, so many husbands, fathers, uncles, grandfathers, you know, people like that. So people should not forget that he has done something like that. Sure. He has committed so much atrocity. He has destroyed a lot of families, you know, in his power, in his authority when he was there. So we should not forget about all of these things that were happening. We should not forget about what the victims have gone through. You know, then they're soft-hearted and things like that. They might forgive, but then it's really hard to forget.
Sure.
You know, it's really, really hard to forget. I mean, Sana came in voluntarily, he spoke the truth, but obviously he didn't speak all of the truth.
Yeah, sure.
We know, but you know, like right now from Nekani, you can ask me something about myself and then I would tell you just half the truth. If I don't want you to know everything, I don't want you to know everything, you can't know everything. Because except, you know, except Yala. So, you know, yeah, exactly. Except you and your maker. So you can never know exactly what is in someone's mind. You can never, literally, you can't, you don't know. You can't know. And you would say, okay, this is the truth. But then, obviously, it's not going to be everything. If they don't want you to know everything, you will not know everything. And that's the case for Sana. I don't know whether he told the whole truth. I am hoping he did, but then with the way human beings are, you know, we can you know, put on our own conclusions. You know, that's us. We can put on our own conclusions, and then, you know, you can just do that on your own and believe it for yourself. You know, and I don't think he should be hailed as a hero, to be honest, because even though he's come, said the truth, he needs to be held accountable for things that he has done. And also, people also need to keep in mind that obviously, yeah, you have gone through emotional trauma, but then he has violated a lot of these laws and he needs to be held accountable for it. Not because he came in and said the truth and everyone's happy about it because he came voluntarily all the way from, I think, from Senegal or something. Because I know he lives in Germany, but he was in Senegal and then he heard about it and then came here. But then we should not forget about the things that he has done. And he should definitely not be hailed as a hero. He does not deserve that title.
I hope so as well. And then now let us come to the case of Tufa Jallow and other young ladies that appears before the TRC to testify. And then to me, I feel like crying when I saw Tufa Jallow testifying before the TRC and explaining what he went through. Like, it's so crazy. So you, as a female, how do you feel seeing Tufa Jallow appearing before the TRC explaining what he went through? What she went through?
I mean, with Tufa, it's actually very, very sad. Because I feel for her as a female, because by the time that happened in those days, we had this really, really strong ironclad culture of silence, this maslaha syndrome. Even if that had happened to Tufa, Even if she had said anything, her with the way that the president was operating, the ex-president was operating, her family could have been killed. She could have been killed. You know, every single one she cared about could have been killed. You know, and she wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. And even if she had said anything, no one would have believed her in the first place. Or people would be like, oh, you're so lucky that the president has taken a liking to you, because that is how he showed himself to the people. He showed himself as being pious, and he also showed himself as being a righteous person, someone who cares about females in the country, who cares about women empowerment. You know, I want the girls to go to school, you know, with the beauty pageants and everything, giving them these platforms and all of that. So, you know, with the way that he was presenting himself, no one would have believed her at that point. And literally, he had the courts at the palm of his hands. He had the authorities at the palm of his hands. He had the ministry at the palm of his hands, like literally every single one. He had the parliament at the palm of his hands. So literally no one would have been able to do anything, because even if you want to do something, you would be dismissed just like that. You know, and if you're not careful, you're going to be killed, or your family is going to be killed. So for Tufa, I feel really, really sad for her, because even if she wanted to like give a proof, you can't, because that has already passed. Because when you say you've been raped, there needs to be some evidence of forceful entry, forceful penetration, and you know, with the semen, fingerprints, you know, with forcefulness and things like that, with also damage to the private area, you know, and things like that. You know, if you don't have proof like that, people would not believe you.
Sure.
You know, people will not believe you. And then the fact that we had this culture of silence, and that she couldn't say anything, she had to bottle all of that inside of her, and couldn't tell anyone, because even if she did, what can you do about it? You can't do anything about it. And you kept seeing his face everywhere. His face was literally everywhere. You see your oppressor in literally every single building that you enter. Every car that you enter, they're talking about him. Billboards, everywhere. You see his face everywhere. So that, yeah, exactly. That would actually take a toll on her psychological.
Okay, Zainab. It seems like we are running out of time. But just quickly, what do you think we can do as a society or as a country to break this culture of silence?
You know, I wouldn't take much of your time, but then I would say, because I'm working with the Woman Boss, and we have some events that, you know, that we have every year, and one of them is called the Girls in Leadership Program, and we had that last year, and we had the mother-daughter brunch in, you know, during the International Women's Day, but I think it was days after that. So we need to provide a safe space for people to actually be able to come out and say what is going on in their lives, what is happening, and then, you know, be able to come together collectively and also work together to actually, you know, work towards those problems and try to actually solve them. You know, sensitization, people have been doing that for a while now. But the government needs to actually come up. The government needs to speak up more when it comes to a lot of these things that are happening in the country. The government needs to speak up more, because they're the ones that people are listening to. So you as a government, if atrocities like these are happening over here, what are you doing to help? You know, we're talking, but we need to see more action. People need to take more actions, because the society cannot just do this on its own. They need to collectively come together and work together for the common good of every single person in the society. And they can't do that without the help of the government. Because, you know, with the judiciary and everything, they come up with these laws. They need to be very they need to stand very, you know, strictly, and say, like, you know what, if this happens, and then the you know, this is what is going to be the consequence, and you have to be strong about it. There needs to be some ironclad rules about some of these atrocities that are happening. And with the society being collectively come together, listen to each other, and also try to come up with solutions for each other, I feel like that's actually really, really important. If we change our mindsets about, you know, things that are happening to the people that we love around us.
Thank you so much, Zainab. And now to Abdullahi. Abdullahi, just quickly, time bi nak jeex na cameraman ba ma sit na time jeex na waye ma saga tuti time rek ñu wax li like dama bëgg bala nga fa joggé like sa final message bi bala nga sa final message bi just wax ma ci TRC bi like comme naka gisé Issa Fall Horaja mom is normal waye dañ ko fa because she was there bala xamna su ñipsé fi la molé because she's no more working with the TRC. Horaja, Mariam, ak saga ñu fa nekk yépp comme naka gisé seen liggéey in a short lane nga ko summarize rek ba paré nga wax ma kan mooy sa favorite person ci TRC bi.
I like their work, to be honest. They are doing wonders. They are doing their work as expected because they are making so that the truth will be revealed as the motive of the TRC. The truth shall be revealed, and to be honest, they are revealing the truth on in every aspect.
Favorite person?
My favorite person, I will. Basically, I will say
like a final message to our viewers. This is not then a lot of things to discuss about this sexual violence, about the TRC about living Hamantene Monica. Soon you are the new them see medical you have done fuck me take you Mokubana where Moilo what na better but yet tactically a final message that perhaps I mean dinner and Ahmad back physics studio and then we talk about those issues. That's a final message to our viewers.
Small final message, Monica, Gambians will definitely try to apply rule of law instead of
translate everything to
So I just want to say a really, really big thank you. My Dombai here, and for the fact that she actually trusted us enough, she trusted me enough to come here and actually share the little knowledge that I have, and I thank you very much for listening.
It was a great pleasure having both of you here. Comme nous m'allons connaître ça, TRC is getting big and better.